Reporting in the middle of a catastrophe means working fast, thinking clearly, and making decisions when information is incomplete and pressure is extreme. This is the moment when ethical principles stop being theoretical ideas and become practical tools for survival, for journalists, and for society. The survey we have developed shows that while most journalists are aware of the risks of covering disasters, only a small percentage have access to specialized resources or training. This gap makes ethical decision-making even more difficult, and yet it is precisely in these moments that ethics matter the most. During a disaster, journalists do more than report events. They shape how those events are understood. A journalist becomes an architect of public perception. Every decision, from the choice of words to the selection of images, influences who is seen as a victim, who becomes a hero, and who is held responsible. Take the explosion at the port of Beirut in 2020. Some media framed it as an apocalyptic tragedy. Others focused on the heroism of rescue teams. Each narrative produced different consequences: international aid, public solidarity, social division, or political protest. None of these frames were neutral. Narratives are shaped through three main mechanisms. The first is selection. Journalists cannot show everything, so they choose what matters most. This automatically creates a hierarchy of importance. The second is framing. The same fact can be presented as success or failure, hope or tragedy, depending on the context. The third is visual rhetoric. Images of crying children create one emotional response. Images of coordinated rescue efforts create another. These choices must be made ethically, consciously, and responsibly. One of the greatest challenges in real-time disaster reporting is the conflict between speed and accuracy. Digital media has intensified this dilemma. Today, news is measured in minutes, not hours. False information published early can spread so quickly that correcting it later becomes almost impossible. To address this, many journalists use a strategy known as phased publication. Instead of waiting for a complete picture, information is released in clearly marked stages. First comes the signal, a brief confirmation that something has happened without details. Then come the first verified facts, always identifying the source. Later, context and expert analysis are added. And finally, days or weeks later, journalists examine the consequences and lessons learned. A key ethical tool in this process is the use of markers of uncertainty. Phrases like "according to official sources," "preliminary information suggests," or "this has not yet been confirmed" help audiences understand what is known and what remains uncertain. Disasters often appear fragmented, isolated dramatic moments without explanation. Ethical journalism must connect these fragments into a coherent picture. This process is called contextualization. Context explains not only what happened, but why it happened and what it means. It can include historical comparisons, geographic conditions, social vulnerabilities, and economic consequences. But ethical context avoids oversimplification. There is rarely a single cause or a single culprit. Reducing complex disasters to simple explanations distorts reality and misleads audiences. Another major ethical challenge is avoiding panic and excessive dramatization. Journalists must understand how language affects emotions. Uncertainty, contradictory messages, and emotionally charged words increase panic. Ethical reporting focuses on solutions, not just problems. Every risk presented should be accompanied by information on what is being done and what people can do. Ethics during a disaster is about making the best possible decisions when time is short and stakes are high. In those moments, ethics are not abstract ideals. They are practical tools that help journalists navigate chaos, protect lives, and preserve trust.